Here you are. So, hello once again. As I told you that today's topic will be creative writing, but I'm not going to tell you about the creative writing that we do in grade 4, 5, 6. Today's session is all about how to begin it with kids if you want to do it with grade 1 or KG even. So what are the steps? What are the initiatives that you should take to at least giving them the foundation of creative writing? Please keep your mics off so it will be easier for everybody to listen to me. Let's get it started. Here are a few questions that we will be finding the answers of. What is creative writing? Is creative writing an inborn skill or it can be developed? When to begin training kids for creative writing? And how to begin training kids for creative writing? So let's get started. I want your participation. What is creative writing? Can you please come up with some answers if you have anything in your mind? What is creative writing? Yes, please.
It is children's ability to make their own stories about something, looking at the pictures.
Okay, yes, good.
And ma'am, writing in a better way by using adjectives and some
Good, Lakshita, got your
similar
point.
words.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
good. Anything else? So what is this creative thing, right? It could be simple writing, na? Writing
Like
with
you
imagination.
can create,
Okay.
yeah, you can make the sentences by your own, by thinking.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's just move on here. What is creative writing? It is something, first let's talk about the word creative. What is creative? In this world, things have been here for thousands and thousands of years ago. They are here, okay? So to bring something new is something almost impossible. But what people do, if they are painting a flower, they are painting it their own way. This is creativity. Painting the same thing with your hand, and it gives you a new theme, a new feel. It is creativity. When it comes to writing, it is same. You are writing the same thing. You may be writing about love. You may be writing about some horror thing, or you may be just sharing your thoughts. So what is creative? What is creative in that? That you are doing it yourself and expressing yourself. That's it. It's simply sharing your ideas, sharing your imagination. Come here. Okay. Here is a simple, very simple definition. It's a type of art. Like drawing is an art, like we have dance as an art form. There are so many types of arts. So creative writing is again, it's an art. And what does it do? It helps you expressing your ideas and your imagination in the form of writing. You can just picture what the author wants to say. If he is talking about a fairy, so you can just get in your mind that what type of like tooth fairy. So maybe children have this in their mind that how she looks like. Okay, they have never seen her, but they have this in their mind that there are tooth fairies or anything like this, a castle in the air, a dragon. Who has seen a dragon? But they can picture it. Why? This is just because of the authors of stories. They have pictured the dragon so well that even we can imagine that how it would look like. Okay, so this is creativity in writing. Let's move on to the second question. The second question is here. Is creative writing an inborn skill or it can be developed? What is your idea? Do you think that it is something that somebody just born author or it can be developed?
Some kids it is inborn, but for some we can develop like this.
No, it can develop.
Yeah?
It can develop.
It can be developed. Yes. So let's just keep it short. And when a child is born, he is born creative. What we do, we just suppress him or we just don't let him share his ideas. And when he reaches to an age when we expect creative writing, all the creativity which was inside him vanished away. Okay. So for example, if you are asking a child to draw a flower, for example, you are asking a KG child, he will just do this and he will say, can you see my screen? I'm drawing something here. He will say it's a flower. Now, how many of you will believe that this is a flower? Will you say this is a flower?
Yeah, definitely.
maybe some of you say, but most of you will say, oh no, this is not a flower. Flower is something like this. You'll make a flower either like this, or if you are good at drawing something, I'm not good, and I using the mouse as well. So we will give him the picture of flowers. Now he has already seen the flower. The only thing that he couldn't draw it the same way is the lack of their eye and hand coordination. He just cannot coordinate his hand muscles to make the exact type of flower. But now what you have done, this is also not a proper flower. This is not a proper flower. But you have given him an easy way. You have given him something to copy down. If you had left him trying his own, making a flower, maybe he could have become a better painter or an artist, and eventually he can make a better flower than you. But what we did to a KG child or a grade 1 child, we said, no, this is not flower. And the creativity finished. Okay. Now, whenever he will draw a flower, he will try to copy yours. Do we do this with our children?
Yes.
We do it. We simply show them the pictures and ask them to copy down. We never ask them to make it yourself. So this is something that we need to take care of. Children are creative by nature. What we need to do just to guide them. Do not just take their creativities away. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the third question. The third question is when to begin training kids for creative writing. Now we know we can train kids to be good writers, but when it should happen. As Nausheen said, that some children have this ability since their birth, they are inclined towards writing. So it's okay. Yeah, this happens. But with some kids, this is not the case. They are not confident writer, or they don't even want to share their ideas, not in the form of writing, even in the form of speaking. They don't speak, or if they are speaking to a limited circle. Okay, they are not going to other people. So to make them expressive, either this is speaking or it's writing, we need to train them. Now, what is the time for this training? Right since the beginning, when he's in the school, or you think that he can hold a pencil or draw something, as I just showed you the flower, the creativity starts here. This is writing. Drawing is also a form of writing. Writing is a human tendency. Anybody can write. If he's a human, he can write. Scribbling is simply, this is writing. Now, this is not English. This is not Urdu. This is not Hindi. But if somebody is making some shapes like the ancient people, they don't use our language, but they used to write. What was that? Simple lines, scribbling, but we just give some meaning to these things, right? So when you think that the child is able to hold the pencil and he is drawing, it means he is ready for the creative writing as well. Now, creative writing doesn't mean writing words, but to express himself on paper. This is what I'm talking about, right? He can express himself. It means he is ready. All right. Now, this is also clear that when to begin. The last question. And after this, I will give you some ideas that how to do that. Oh, yes, this is the question, obviously. How to begin training kids for creative writing. This is the most important thing, that how to begin. So here you are. Any ideas? How do you people do it? If you do it, how do you do it? Then I will share my ideas with you. Yes, 5, 4. If you want to come up, please. I don't want to take a lot of your time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Should I go on? Ishal says share some pictures and write about them. Ask them. Brainstorming. Acha. Okay, we are talking about, please put your mics off. We are talking about a KG child or first grader. Don't forget this, please. A first grader or a KG child, do you expect them that they will immediately start descriptive writing, like looking at the picture and they can do it? You think it? Or they can brainstorm? Let me just mute all of you. Hold on, please. Acha, what I was saying, I was asking you, can you ask a KG child or a first grader to look at a picture and write about it? We do ask it, but do you think that this is the right way? Yes, Fatima. Yes, grade 1 child can do creative writing, but how many of them? How many of them can do it?
Yeah, teacher, it depends on the student. As you told first, some students, they don't express, even they don't want to speak. So the student is very smart, or like very, very hard worker. Like if he picks the things or follow the things fast, so he can or she
Okay.
can.
Okay, let's talk about majority. Do the majority of kids in grade 1 or KG do creative writing or not? Okay. Nishita is saying no, the child should be given time and enhance their drawing. Yes, they can. Shiba is saying yes, they can. She must be from some good school, or the level of the children must be good. Yes. Okay, what I have seen, the students who are here in my classes, they are from US and UK, okay, for creative writing. But still they are scared while writing. They speak well because they live in the English countries, but when it comes to writing, they go for simpler thing. Like if they say the house is enormous or gigantic or huge, but when it comes to writing, they will go for the simple thing that the house is so big or very big or simply big, right? So they just don't feel confident enough, maybe because of the spelling, so they will make spelling mistakes, or they just want to be in their comfort zone. They don't want to come up with the ideas, or just to make it more beautiful, use more words. Okay, so what I have seen in schools, even here, if I talk about UAE, the kids who have good base, who have the environment in their home, yes, they do write. But here we are talking about the non-native speakers who don't have any environment, because mostly the people who are here are from India, Pakistan, or maybe somebody is from Nigeria, or Ghana or Ghana. I'm sorry for mispronouncing the name of the city. So for non-native speakers, it is a little tricky. So if your child is struggling, if your students are struggling in creative writing, what we need to do, and even if they are not struggling, but obviously this is something new for them, so for that we are going to see what are the ideas, what are some tips that we can use to get them started, right? Here you are. The very first thing, drawing. As I just asked a boy here, can you draw a monster? Don't go for direct creative writing and ask them to write something. Yes, Fatima. Shiba. Okay, Shiba, quickly, please. Yes, Shiba, please.
Yeah, we have to give them exposure and freedom for their, to develop their, thinking and imagination skills. So let the child make mistakes, and let the child, and then where we can, ask them, okay, with their mistakes, they will learn. So we should not be, pointing a child that he's making a mistake, so that's wrong, wrong. It's okay, let the
Yeah.
child learn from the mistake, so that they're how they will enhance their imagination and creativity and the neatness of the structures.
Yes, this is sure. And let me just add something here. As she said that we should not, Shiba said, thank you, Shiba, that we should not point out a lot of mistakes. On a page, if a child has written a complete page, a teacher is not allowed to, or is not supposed to point out more than 4 mistakes. And they should even not be red marked. Do not red mark the mistakes. You can simply put a dot at somewhere. Look at this. Can you just have a look at this? Maybe it could be of a spelling mistake simply. Except that spelling mistake, we will just appreciate whatever they have written. I will show you the writing of my student today. We were doing something in the class, so I will also share with you. She is the first grader, and you can just see that how she wrote and what were my comments, right? So this is a little tip. If you are a teacher and you are giving creative writing or any kind of writing thing, more than 4 mistakes get so overwhelming for a child that he has made a lot of mistakes and he will get a little passive. Don't make them passive learner. Appreciate them, whatever they are doing, and then you can later just point out that it could be written like this, it could be written like this. Okay, so let's just go for the first thing, drawing. If you think that creative writing is something new for children or they are struggling, do not ask them to write sentences or phrases or whatsoever. Ask them to draw pictures. They can draw a flower, they can draw a scenery. How many of you used to draw the same scenery? This is the scenery that I have been drawing for my whole childhood, because once my teacher told me that this is the scenery, and then nothing came into my mind. So just ask them to draw pictures, express their ideas through pictures. They can draw their toys, they can draw their friends, whatsoever, right? The second step could be, now they have shared their ideas. What is our aim? To make them expressive first. Now, if they have done this, the next thing is labeling. They have shared their ideas, they have drawn a picture. Now you can either ask them to label their drawing, or you can simply give them something to label. Let me just show you something on my screen. Hold on. I need to turn on the camera. Okay, if you can see this, this is just a worksheet. All these furniture and each and everything was on the other paper. What I took a workshop for this creative writing. So what we did, the teacher asked us that just set this room somehow. So everybody has the same thing: table, chair, a bookshelf, clock, and what is this? A TV. But all of the participants just designed this room differently. We had to paste these things here and then explain about it. So you can also make such kind of worksheets. You can make a jungle. You can make some, what you can say, a zoo, anything, any environment. Give them any environment and ask them to just set it their way. Now, what we are doing again? We are making them expressive. We are making them confident, so they can share their ideas. This is the first thing. Later, we will go for writing. Okay, this was just a little sharing. Come back to our slides. Okay, now one more thing. If you are asking children to draw something, if you are asking them to label something, take care of these little things, that the things should be common to them. They should be common to their environment. Like if this is a tree, but in India, Pakistan, I don't know about India, but in Pakistan, we hardly see any tree with orange, and this is a fall tree, okay? This is the season of fall. So it would have been better if I had used a green tree, right? So I just didn't think it then, but now I can just think that for a child who is not familiar that trees are of this color as well, he will go a little here and there. So keep it the simplest. Give the thing with the most simpler ideas, okay? A monster, it is a funny face. You can give anything. Ask them to draw monster. They just love it. I don't know why monsters are so famous nowadays, but children love them and they love to draw them. So you can ask them to draw their monster and then label him. Big eyes, small ears, fluffy body, whatsoever. Okay. Now the next thing, when we are here at labeling, we have started writing now. Okay, writing with words. We were drawing before, but now we are writing in words, right? This is the first thing. Labeling is the first form of writing. And there's one more thing. What you can do, you can ask them to bring some pictures from their home, of their vacations, of some party, and put tags on them, put labels on them, that this is the date and this is this event. This is the date and this is this event. This is my sister, brother, cousin, siblings. Label their family. Keep the things related to them, so they will feel confident. They will have the idea what they need to talk about. Learn or join phonics sound class. Send me please detail. Baniba, you have the WhatsApp now, so we can discuss these things there. If you don't have my WhatsApp numbers, then ask me. I will just share you. But right now, just focus on this one, and then if we get some time, we will discuss other things as well. The most important thing, the very first thing for creative writing is the use of adjectives. Use of adjective. There are 5 houses. Please come up quickly with some adjective for these houses. Yeah, come on. I want to listen if somebody can come up. House number 1, what can be an adjective for this house? Number 2, you need to describe these houses. How will you do it? Come on. Turn on your mics. Okay, let me just turn the mics on. Now you can unmute yourself, please.
Ma'am, the house is beautiful and big.
Okay, this could be true with this as well. Are these two houses are big? And okay, so you must be talking about the third one, because you mentioned I got it. You are talking about this one, is it?
Yes, miss.
You describe it well. Thank you so much. Anything for the other houses? Any word that you can describe the house in?
Haunted, scary.
Haunted.
Scary house.
Okay, well done. It could be haunted. This could be scary.
Where's the small
You are coming up with the good things. Who is there? Airy and bright. Okay, Pala, good. Which one is airy and bright? Maybe the first one. You can unmute yourself. Ashara, you can unmute yourself.
Small
This
house.
is the
A
big
small
house.
house.
This is the small house.
This is the big house. This is the small house. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing.
Surrounded by 2 trees.
House surrounded by 2 trees. Excellent. Well done. You have described it. Excellent. So this is how you need to show children pictures and ask them for how they can describe. Don't again go for the paragraph. Okay, we are just making the base. We are making the foundation. Start with phrases, then go for sentences. Yes, who is raising the hand? Fatma, Ashara, you can unmute yourself, please. The meeting will end in 2 minutes. If you want to continue, you need to rejoin with the same link. Yes, please, go ahead. Do you want to say something, Ashara and Fatima? No?
No, it's okay. In comments already I have mentioned.
House with
Okay,
a lot of greenery.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So the first thing was drawing, simple drawing, no writing. The second thing was drawing with labeling. The third thing was use of adjective. If they are writing something, ask them to give a description with them. Okay. Now, this is the most important thing. Once again, if a child is living in India, do not give him the examples of Europe. If a child lives in Pakistan, do not give him the examples of, what should I say? Maybe some other country that he has never seen. Relate things to the environment if you want children to come up with their ideas. First, they will look at their environment and talk about that. Then you can just open the gates. You can show them the videos. You can expose them to other things in the form of virtual visits, and then can ask them to write about those things. For example, now the child is writing for the very first time and he is writing about a person. Ask him, would you like to write about yourself or your friend? If he says, I know myself. Okay, I have written Sabrina because yesterday Sabrina wrote about herself. I asked Sabrina, come on, let's write about yourself. So she gave 6 adjectives for her, 6 words that were describing Sabrina. You can ask, if a child is not comfortable in talking about himself, ask him to describe his parents, any of the parent, or what, a friend or a toy, anything. I'm going to show you a worksheet of this. Okay, so this is the worksheet that I was talking about. This is first grade 1 worksheet of a school in UK. So you can see here we have a picture, and then children have to describe it using adjectives, and that's it. They are beginning the creative writing like this. Now let's come back to our slides. So here, as I told you, you can use any relevant thing and ask children to describe it, write anything about that. Again, still, we are not to the sentence part, okay? We are not writing sentences. Now, to write sentences, to write your thoughts, your imagination, or to express yourself, what is the very first thing? You need vocabulary. For vocabulary, this is your part now. Either you can provide them environment. speak at home, or show them some cartoons in which they can learn some good vocabulary, from where they can get vocabulary with reading as well. If you read to them, or if they read themselves, they will get new words. This is the main thing. And after this, discount. If you speak English to them, if English is in their environment in the form of some videos, TVs, children speaking to them, they will get new words from there. And this is something that is compulsory, not only for vocabulary, but for sentence structure, to express idea in better ways, and so many other things. So we will talk about this as well. But first, from where they can get it, from here. I'll show you a chart as well of vocabulary, how you can do it, and a dictionary pattern that you should have with your kids. You can get the printout of this, or simply make it with any notebook. So make their own dictionaries, ask them to collect words and use them in their sentences. The second thing that we need, hold on. I'm sorry. I just missed something. Till here, we have brought them to writing. Okay, now they are writing phrases like big house, small house, good friend, bad friend, whatsoever. Some weak adjectives, but adjectives, and then the name of the thing. Now, second thing is vocabulary. For vocabulary, I told you that you need to collect a good vocabulary for them, or help them in different ways later. The second thing that is important for creative writing. Now we are talking about sentences, paragraph, and stories. These are the essential elements that are needed to write proper sentences. The first thing was, as we just discussed, number 4, vocabulary, connectors. Children, no matter how good speakers they are, but when it comes to writing, they break the sentences a lot. He is playing with the ball, means there is a full stop after a single sentence. They don't connect if we don't train them. So we need to train them to use connectors. Basically, there are 5 connectors. You can see them here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but except them, we can also use some phrases and other words and prepositions to connect the sentences. Even with punctuation, we connect sentences. But these are the basic 5. All the other words, like for example, moreover, this word is and. It means that we are adding information, and we can use the word moreover for the same thing. We are adding information, right? This word is because. It is giving you the reason. I can also use the word since to give the reason. The same category, a different word. Okay. For but, when we show the contradiction, but we can use other words as well, like however for but. Okay, and there is a list of words. If you do the creative writing course, so inshallah I will send it. The course is not ready, but these are the things that you will see in detail in the creative writing course if I offer it someday. Okay, then again, then, so, or any result, ultimately, lastly, finally. There could be so many words in which you can replace for then. Okay, after every sentence, then he did, then he, then. So you can replace then with some other things as well. So we need to teach this to kids to make them better writers. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Keep counting. The first one was vocabulary. Now we are talking about sentences or proper paragraphs, connectors. Now the second thing is sentence opener. Okay, sentence opener. Sentence openers are simply anything. A, and, the, because, whatsoever. Any word that is opening your sentence could be a sentence opener. It could be he, she, it, anything. But what we are supposed to do, we need to give them better sentence opening. Once upon a time, the most famous sentence opener, once upon a time, or years ago, so many years ago, something like this, right? So we need to do this with the children as well. Okay, so how can we open a sentence? We can either ask a question. It is something to hook your reader. You can use some alliterations to start your sentence. Alliteration means the repetition of the same consonant sound. This is something else. I'm not going to talk about this, otherwise it will be so long. Then onomatopoeia, like this. crash, bang, the car bumped into the tree. Look at this. If I use this word, people will say, okay, this is something new. They will keep on reading. On a cold evening, this is something better than to say whatsoever, a simple thing like that she was crying on a cold evening. If I do it like this, she was crying sitting in the corner. Don't start with she, just make it a little creative. This is what we are talking about, right? Creativity. So we need to train children for this ability, this skill as well. They should be able to open the sentence in multiple ways, in better ways, right? And this is something not really simple. As I told you that I have kids who live in the English countries, but still they struggle. Why so? Because when it comes to writing, they just forget everything, no matter how well they speak. But when it comes to writing, I don't know what happens. The next thing that we need to be very careful of is punctuation. Punctuation make the sense of the writer clear. It can just give you the sense that whether somebody is sad, happy, or whatsoever. This exclamation mark show your feelings. You are crossed, you are happy, you are whatsoever. A question mark is necessary after, these are 6699. The speech marks. Again, another important thing, apostrophe, comma, colons, semicolons, each and everything. We need to teach this step by step. But the very first thing is a full stop and a question mark. Okay, then we go for exclamation and the other things, right? Now let's come to genre. I'm not going to give any detail about the genres, but these are the basic things that we teach children when they are in elementary section. Okay, so this word simply means type of writing. What is the genre? What is the type? A writing can be informative. You are giving the information about something. You are telling some facts and figures. You are talking about, for example, owls, different type of owls. You will go on internet, find out the figures, and you will write about it. You can talk about dolphins. You can do how-to writing in this as well. Informative writing can also be how-to writing. You are telling somebody the method of doing something. Okay, so here we do not have much more chances of creativity in the way to make the ambience and create the ambience kind of thing. This is a little straightforward, but again, the facts and figures are real. What you can do, you can open your sentence in a better way. You can just hook your reader with some alliterations and onomatopoeias. So informative writing simply is about facts and figures and the method if you want to tell somebody something or teach somebody something, right? Then we have opinion or persuasive writing. In both of these, they are different, but almost you can say them the similar. In this, you give your opinion about any idea, or you motivate somebody, or you just give your points to make somebody agree on what you are talking about. Okay, it could be to participate in an event. It could be to go to a birthday party if somebody is not going and you want him to go, or maybe about the online classes, that we should go for the online classes rather than the physical. So anything in which you are asking somebody to do the same thing as you are thinking. Opinion is simply you are sharing your thoughts, that how do you think about a certain topic? Do you think that this is good or bad, right? Then we have narrative. Most of the stories are written in narrative. Narrative could be, what do you say, fiction. They could be fiction stories, or it could be realistic fiction as well. Realistic fiction is a kind of thing that are made up stories, but they can happen, like a picnic to a seaside. Realistic. Okay, or you can simply talk about your real life event, your birthday party. But when it comes to fiction is something you can talk about aliens. You can talk about what do you call, aves, or what are anything. anacondas, python. Anacondas and python are real, but what you did with them. You can talk about a river of jewel. You can talk about the mountains of gold, whatsoever. So this all is fiction. So this is again, the best thing to start is with how to writing. This is the simplest: how to make a glass of juice, how to make a cup of milk, these things. Then narrative. Yes, children, if the children are imaginative, you can help them with some ideas. You can show them some picture of an alien, of a planet or whatsoever. Ask them to write something about this. But again, now you have already set the base. These all things are for children who are already ready with these concepts. Okay, they should not be master of them, but they have a certain idea that what they are going to do. If they are writing a noun, they should use an adjective before it. Okay, so these things, after preparing them, then you can come out on these type of writings, and then you can just go on. You can up level things, and so much information. Now, this was just an introduction. We can have a full workshop on creative writing, but today's agenda was informal. Can you discuss informal writing, blogger? No, I cannot discuss blog writing because this is a big topic. I'm not prepared for this. Informal writing is, this could be an informal letter, a letter to your friend in which you are inviting him, or a letter to your granny in which you are just telling him about your achievement. Informal writing can be anything that is not formal. You are talking either to your friend, to your family. So blog writing is a very different thing, and I don't know what to talk about this for now. We can, if I prepare it, then I can tell you. That's all. Okay, this is all from my side. If you want to share something, if you want to come up with something, please go ahead. And meanwhile, if I have some worksheets to share with you, you can come up with your questions, please. The writing of Asrita, the first grader, okay?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, you talked about labeling. After drawing, you talked about labeling.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually, what exactly we have to do in that? You have to, for example, there is a tree. So a child has to label that tree, that these are leaves or these are trunk
Yes.
or what.
Tree was a very
Okay.
simple example, but as I asked kids to draw a monster, let me show you how I labeled that thing.
Okay.
Hold on, let me just show you a picture. Can you see this?
Okay.
Let me just pin it. Look at this. In the workshop, they asked us to draw a monster and then label. So look at my monster and how I labeled him. Okay, so this is how. You can ask them to draw a dog. You can ask them to draw a house, anything, and then label it. What we are going to do, we are just asking them to express themselves. If they have made something, so what was in their mind? Because everything cannot be so clear in writing, so they can even now use words. Here you are. If you can see this. There are mistakes, but again, she is a 6-year-old who's writing now. They packed, it's a picnic scene. Okay, so she wrote first, what did they do? They packed a swimming pool to the picnic. Look at this. Center, picnic center. She used the word center because it was in her mind that they are going to picnic center. And pool water. Now she is saying that she took the swimming pool and the water also, they took it from the home, right? This is her imagination. This is without proofreading, right? Later we did the proofreading, so she also cleared her mistake. This was the first print that I asked her mother to send me. And a bat and ball and a barbecue, right? This was happened first according to her. Then next what happened? They make it to the park. Now she's saying that they arrived to the park, so she used the word make it. They make it to the park and they started. For id sound, she said id sound should come with a, so she wrote ed, but before that she write a sound as well. They started to cook, okay. And the kids had fun in the kids pool. And here she was so tired, so she said that I will do it later. Okay, but for a 6-year-old who is not doing writing in school, she has just started, what do you say, the description worksheet that I showed you before. So that was good enough. And she was happy that she wrote something. This is how we can just begin the things, and we can give them the confidence that yes, you can write it, and later she will improve. Okay. Some worksheets, if you want to see, they are here. But these I got from Twinkle. Twinkle subscription is not that expensive. In Pakistan, this is 400 per month. Take the subscription for a month. This is the dictionary that I was talking about, my personal dictionary. If you cannot get the printout of this, again, this is from Twinkle. Just make a separate notebook for the sake of dictionary. And this is the best thing to do. Write the date, word, definition, or use in sentence. Do this with the words, like one of my student, I asked him, can you give me a new word? So she gave me a word, ukulele. Ukulele. Now I didn't know that what is it. I said, what is it? I don't know this word. So she gave me that this is a musical instrument, and it is a type of guitar. Okay, so that was a new word. I said, wow, this is a new word. And next day means from wherever they are getting the vocabulary, this is how they can build their vocabulary bank, right? What else? Just go like this, and then if the level of children are a little big, they are senior, so you can do this as well. But it's better to make sentences with everything. Ask them to write something, write the word, and then make sentences. Okay, what else? Sequence writing. Look at the pictures and write. Now, again, this is a kind of help. If they can write even a sentence with all of these pictures, they will get a proper story. Okay, sure. And a first grader, if he is done with all the other things, can do it. This is another story. 4 pictures. You need to write what happened, what happened, and then the whole story here. This is it. This is it. You will find some of the creative writing worksheets on my website as well, but they are not a lot. I will do something for this as well, but that's it. Anything else? This is all from my side. Yes, if you want to share something or you want to ask something.
Ma'am, are you going to keep a paid class of creative writing? Like you will explain everything in detail?
Yeah. This was just an idea. When we, what I will give in my creative writing workshop is the mixture of 2-3 workshops. I took 2 workshops before, and then I was also taking something from the paid courses, the online courses. The teacher is not there. I just need to read and write. But for that, I need time. And yes, I need money for that. If I will give the workshop for creative writing, I'll charge. Who asked this?
Ma'am, Anushka here. Ma'am, please keep us posted. If there is any paid workshop, obviously, please keep us posted.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
That will be for parents and teachers, not for kids. For kids, parents really want some quick results, and creative writing is something that needs consistency. If you are not consistent, you cannot get the results. And in a month, you cannot make a creative writer. In 2 months, it at least need 10 months to see some prominent result in kids. So if you are a teacher at a school, you can do it. But if you are an online teacher and want to give creative writing classes, so just make it sure with parents that you cannot do any magic. Done. I think that's all.
Hira, thank you very much. It was very
Thank you so
helpful.
much for joining. Thank you so much for joining.